Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Jax Veterans Memorial Arena here in Jacksonville, Florida, for the continuation and really the start of the second half of day 2 of the round of 64. But in simpler terms, this is it. The final stretch is starting here and now, with 10 seed Memphis versus 7 seed Washington kicking off the last quarter of this round's action, with the winner here taking on either 15 seed UAB or 2 seed North Carolina. And good to see you here, Coach Akbar. Good to see you. Might have fun. My tea since my sub expired. Just hit up Killian. Anyways, glad to have you all here. I'm your play-by-play commentator for this one, Commissioner Daniel, and I think I'll be doing this one solo, which is fine. It's just one game before your boy goes hits the weights here in Jacksonville, Florida. But with that said, we got an interesting matchup here on our hands between these two teams right here, the Tigers and I completely forgot to change that graphic. That's tough. Between the Tigers and the Huskies. I was on the road for like an hour. It's tough. But here we are. Here's what the two teams look like side by side. Memphis, of course, scoring a lot in American Conference play, and outside of it, of course, the biggest criticism we already know is their lack of strength in their schedule. But the number is still very impressive. With Washington, I think they took a bit of a dip compared to last season's performance throughout the regular season. But hey, I think they're still a good team. I think they can still get the job done. They finished second, just flat out in the Pac-12 this time around. Couldn't repeat the outright title. Couldn't go back to back, but it's fine. It's fine. You still got a great Washington team that could make some noise. Memphis, of course, looking to advance to the round of 32 for the first time since 2031, and that's a year where they actually made it all the way to the Sweet 16 before falling to Arizona State, who was a 3 seed. And oh my gosh, well, ladies and gentlemen, the man fixed his internet and he is back. What's up, Commissioner Pike? Oh shit. How are you, man?
Doing good.
Oh my. Well, it's been a while since we've had you on here. I've had to carry everything for the last week, but hey, it is what it is. We're glad to have you back, man.
I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it a lot. Again, the reason why my internet was down was embarrassing, but we have to forget about that now.
Yeah, we can leave that behind. We're all good. That's a thing of the past now. It's the most important thing. That's how I look at things always, usually. So that's the most important thing when it comes to this. But you jump into a game where at least one team is familiar to you. The other, a little bit from the past, but they're a bit different this time around. But you saw Memphis play. What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I mean, the Memphis team we saw play against Kentucky in the play-in round, I feel like was one of the most dominant teams we saw, especially since their defense was the main key to everything. They really just held them up so much and just refused to let them score. Though Washington may have a trouble with that here today, but I mean, this Huskies team is really good. They played really well in the Pac-12. I mean, this is going to be a team that you're going to see, especially try to play more around the offensive side of the ball. I mean, that they're only playing 90. They only have 90 points per game. They're more of a defensive team, but both teams have their own structure, and the way they play is going to play a difference here today.
It definitely will. Height difference is going to be main key, as Tobias Fall versus Akron Croyle will really be the difference maker. We saw that to be the case against Kentucky, who was a little bit shorter than Washington, but, only a little bit. So here we go. The starting lineups did flash on everybody's screen, so hopefully everybody caught them. Tobias Fall is
going to be... Tobias Fall was one of the biggest reasons why they won. Oh.
Indeed, and he's the reason why Memphis is starting off with the ball in this game. There he is, the big man, passing it out. Look at how quickly they move the ball. Killen's Way opens up the game with a miss, though. He transferred over from Miami. Here's Daeway Malachi Johnson. A lot of people remember that guy, but it's tipped by Tobias Fall out of bounds to Kendrick Blake already stressing out. And for good reason. There we go. There's Malachi Johnson again. And I'm sure there's some faces that you remember from this Washington team. You faced them twice last year. We're not going to talk about the results. There's no need. But instead, we can focus on, well, the returning faces. Rich Elias, Dewey Malachi Johnson, Jason Taylor, who's now a sophomore. What do you remember about those guys?
Well, mainly the one thing I could take away from the battles that, of course, I knew from last season. There are a huge difference when it comes to the offensive play side of the ball for Washington, especially around the perimeter, and of course the inside scoring has been a big thing for Washington. Of course, it's what Blake is mainly known for. But again, having the high difference here between Memphis and the players they got in the inside lane, it's going to be such a huge difference and such a different kind of style of play they had towards last season inside the tournament.
Indeed, it will. They're now going to have to deal with this all of a sudden overarching difficulty. I don't even know how to really tab it, but it should be a fun one as Washington gets the first points of the game. Jaquan Carlos strips it away from Memphis, and a quick start here for Washington.
Full court defense is going to be the biggest factor for Washington, especially as I remember from last season too. This is the big reason why they made it all the way to the Elite Eight, is that full court defense, completely stripping the ball away from their opponents and just not letting them get past half court. It is a huge factor that Blake loves to do on defense.
Indeed. Just because they're a little bit shorter doesn't mean they can't get at it physically. Little hiccup there on offense, though, but they recovered quickly. Jason Taylor, of course, blossoming in front of our eyes, has really grown as a player. Bounce pass in. Croyle. Oh, my, that's disgusting. Somehow gets the ball back, and he misses.
Almost a quick recovery there for Washington, but again, like you said, that height difference is down low. It's the biggest thing Memphis has going. And again, something like that, rebounds as well. The biggest key to this game is going to be the inside rebounds off the glass, especially with the biggest man that got, Tobias Fall. There in the center.
That's 4 points in a matter of 3 seconds right there. That's nuts. That's what Memphis was doing to Kentucky.
Defense, they always say, partner, offense can do a lot of scoring, but defense wins championships.
Especially when defense is translated into quick offense, just like what we just saw not too long ago. Jaquan Carlos. Yep. The graduate transfer from Hofstra, we saw his team play pretty well against Providence earlier in this round. Ultimately couldn't do it, but maybe there's a chance for him to progress. Bounce pass in, left high, Killingsway. Mid-range jumper off the mark, and it's rebounded by Malachi Johnson, who actually, fun fact, his brother is now on the team. He graduate transferred from Wisconsin. But here's Rich Elias, a name we all know, but he can't get it to ball.
Yes, Rich Elias, probably one of the most profound names on this Washington team, of course. Again, a really important factor to the Elite Eight team that made it there, especially from last season. But here's a whole new story. He has to go against possibly one of the biggest men in the country.
Right there, C.J. Parker, the graduate transfer from Alabama, can get that top of the key three to go down, but he's a threat. He's always been a threat this season, and in his entire college career. Now Jason Taylor, bounce pass in, deflected off of Killingsway. A little bit of a messy start for both teams, but you can just tell they love getting involved physically.
Well, it's also not only that, but also just you can see a lot of teams are a little more focused on the ball than the actual players themselves. Of course, that's just a good zone defense between both teams.
Wow, what a pass in to Rich Elias. Needed points right there for the Huskies.
We just wasn't watching Rich Elias. He found an open lane and nobody saw him coming, so a wide open chance there for Rich Elias, and he puts two more down.
Here's Marco Pons, the transfer from Wake Forest, over to Zion Xavier, gives it back up to him. Feed inside, somehow gets through. Great play.
There's one thing Memphis was known for in the first round against Kentucky was their inside passing. It is such a good passing lane, and of course when you have Marco Pons at the top of the key being the one the passing, it's going to be effective, but man, turnover.
Yeah. Washington couldn't keep it. Xavier with a wide open three. No. Ooh. Parker with the board, and he gets it to go.
Rebound is key in this type of environmental game, especially with the players at key in this game.
Malachi Johnson, he physicaled his way through Tobias Fall. That's impressive.
And good fighting towards the paint. I mean, that's what you got to do in a situation like this, especially since, you have Tobias Fall, the biggest guy on the court.
7 foot. Yeah, 7'6", 311 pounds. Massive human being. Jaquan Carlos fighting through. He'll get it to his running mate and Malachi Johnson through the contact. Nothing called, and he misses. Now here's Marco Pons. Again, trying to fight his way through. A lot of contact, and it bounces in for him. What a take. Didn't see much. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't have anything.
I was going to say, with Marco Pons, he didn't see much action at Wake Forest. Has been a revelation at Wake Forest. Or, excuse me, Memphis. What a shot right there by Jaquan Carlos. I thought that was a 3.
It looks like his toes were just on the line, so the ref did not throw up the 3. But instead, it was a good 2 points from deep range.
Tobias Fall trying to work his way in. Memphis with a whole bunch of quick passing. Now C.J. Parker is just going to slow things down. Keep it simple. Like that. Give it to Tobias Fall, but he missed the shot. And looks like Akron Croyle out-rebounded him.
It was a good reset for Memphis there, but just could not get the play to go down, especially going to the right man, too. Just got to hit your shots when it counts.
Now Malachi Johnson over to Rich Elias. Carlos, the little big man, a 6 foot. Malachi Johnson, top of the key 3. No. Rebounded by Xavier.
Talk about good positioning there by Memphis. Surrounding the paint, not letting anybody in, so playing the perimeter was just an easy task there, just not letting any pass-ins happen.
There you go. Lafayette Killensway pops that short mid-range jumper. He's mastered that for the most part. We saw that on display as well when Memphis thrashed Kentucky in the play-in round. Now feed in. Again, they're just trying to reset. Croyle with a 3. That's a shot I did not expect. Obviously, he missed.
Well, I mean, at this point, though, you're trying to keep up with Memphis here, and now they can take a 6-point, maybe 7. Oh!
Marco Pons, flamethrower. What a shot.
Well, man, Washington tried to knock down a 3 to keep their heat going, but instead, it's Memphis who keeps the heat going.
Oh, wow. What a Rich Elias just hopping through the lane. Somehow, Memphis not able to swat that one away.
I think just good fight physically into the paint, just put up a good layup there. All you can say.
Both teams, obviously, we can see, love to play quick. Killensway, that's a quick trigger. No. Rebound by the point guard, though. 6'5", 220 plus pounds. He is a big guard.
Well, that's the thing with this Memphis team is they got a lot of big men for a lot of rebound ability.
Wow. Look at Akron Croyle putting the work in on 7'6" Tobias Fall. Akron Croyle is not even 6. He's not even 7 foot. Turnover right there. Kind of fumbling over our words here. Feed over to Carlos.
I do it all the time.
It happens to the best of us. We're nearing the halfway point. Washington misses a shot right there. Now here's Iron Xavier.
I'm sorry, I was going to say Washington just needs to try to crowd the paint. It's what's been killing them so far in this game.
Killensway wants to drive in, Fall at the top of the key, feeds it. Parker, 2 ball, no. And Carlos somehow gets the rebound. I thought Parker was in great position. Now here's
he was in great position, but like I said, all they needed to do was crowd the paint. Did exactly that in a 2-on-1 and worked out beautifully. Oh my goodness!
What a take by Jaquan Carlos. And again, Washington somehow making magic happen down in the paint, considering what they have to battle against. Now Killensway, look at that spin around. Oh, but he falls short. I thought he was gonna finish that playoff. That was beautiful looking at the start. Here's Malachi Johnson.
Really, and back to your same partner. And there's one thing that Washington. Oh, well, never mind because he turned it over.
Look at Tobias Fall trying to go through. No whistle there somehow. Jeez, that was a lot of contact.
That was a lot of contact. Well, all I was going to say real quick was that if there's one thing Blake has been trying to teach his team about, it's just being physical. Especially against, big bodies like this. It's really important to try to battle your way through and get some points on the board right there. That's a foul.
Yeah, reach and follow Marco Pons, who all of a sudden the game unironically pulls up. But not for ironic reasons. He has been the spotlight player so far for Memphis with his quick offense. And look at all these changes for the Huskies.
Yeah, four out, 4 in.
Fresh bodies in. Wemby Creed, the freshman, is now in the game. Here's Eric Haywood, who transferred over from UW Milwaukee the previous offseason, or 2 off seasons ago. Dayway Johnson, boom, there you go.
An important factor for this Washington team, especially at this point right now, is you got to score some points off the bench here because you're still down, but taking the lead. Oh, well, there you go. That's a big way of trying taking the lead. An illegal screen.
The true freshman, Roblox. Yeah, that's his actual name. Committed the foul right there. And Dayway Johnson. This is a big guard. Memphis got big bodies. Well, enter the 6'9" guard. What a jam right there, though. Beautiful.
I was going to say the first time Washington's leading.
On an 8-0 run. Pass inside is deflected. Haywood picks it up. Huskies looking to run. Haywood, big slam.
I think I'll force Memphis a timeout here. 10-0 run.
That's how you do it. You counter size with speed. And that's what the Huskies have done. But what else have they done so well?
Well, physicality. That's another thing, too. It's just their fight to the paint is something that's been so good so far for this Huskies team. Memphis has been, of course, they have the tall bodies to try and block shots and all that. But you're just getting out physically played inside the paint. You need to try and box out the opponents, or I would say try and make them commit a charge foul, but at the same time, you're just getting out physically played. Got to figure out a way to control the game, control the paint, and just make sure that you're not limited to just your height in this game.
So far, Washington has been able to do that with being a little bit shorter than your opponent. Also gives you more speed to work with, more space to work with. And you don't feel as cluttered. They've been able to make it work so far, but here's a chance for Memphis to regain something, and they botched the alley-oop to Roblox. And holy changes. Jeez. Just like that, the starting lineup is back out there for Washington. Again, you have to worry about the pressure that Memphis puts on. They're always trying to rip or draw contact like that, but nothing. Ref stand pat. I'm surprised. Taylor, Malachi Johnson. Now Croyle gets, jeez, can't try that shot on Tobias Wall. Pons pull up 2. No, and it's rebounded by Croyle. Oh, look at Washington. They're charging. Down the lane. No. Taylor gets the board, though, and puts it in.
That's the thing, though. Memphis is not rebounding just because of their height. Washington's rebounding because they're boxing out Memphis. They're physically going up, battling, and pushing off all the guys they're trying to rebound. It is perfect for Washington so far.
What a shot, though, by Marco Bonds. And Carlos got ripped but recovered his own miscue. And who is this off of? Well, they're going to say this is off of Parker, so it stays with Washington here.
I think it bounced off a Washington player.
I would like to take a look at this through our replay
it looks
system.
like the Memphis player threw it at the Washington player. Kind of like what LeBron does, you know what I mean?
Let's see. So here we go. So this is Croyle and Parker involved. What's the best angle for this? Probably here. Let's see. So, they say it bounces off of Parker.
Oh,
I can see it. I can see it. Yep. That is definitely off him. Good call by the refs.
I thought he flipped the ball backwards towards the Washington player, but good call, ref.
I'm sure that's what he intended on, just couldn't do it. So now Washington inbounds it. Here's Carlos. Now on a new team after all those years spent at Hofstra, and misses, somehow gets the board. amongst all those trees that Memphis has and is going to the free throw line.
Again, I keep on bringing it up, but every time the ball's near the rim and off the glass, Washington is just there. No matter who it is, they box out Memphis. They completely box them out, prevent them from getting the ball. And Tobias Ball, even though he was the tallest guy there, he couldn't leap up because he wasn't under the ball because he got boxed out by this man who is right now shooting free throws.
I'd actually say that he got boxed out by his own teammate, it looked like, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, could be true.
Still, Washington with a 5-point lead over a team that just physically towers over them. Pons trying to work his way in, off to Killen's way. Mid-range jumper, now off the mark. Malachi Johnson now. Waiting for his team to run a play here. Taylor, the sophomore, now dishes, and Malachi Johnson, no, off the mark. It's Killen's way. Recovery. Rebounding game has surprisingly swung Washington's way so far. Pons, top of the key, feed in, Zion Xavier, pull up, and it bounces in for him. Grad transfer from Iowa. There we go, that pressure again. This is what they do after every single time they score. The special instructions by Akbar. Oh, almost knocked away, and instead Malachi Johnson converts. Impressive. Field goal percentage is pretty close. Both teams shooting just a little bit under 50%. Floats it in, Tobias Ball. Nobody can contest that at all.
Good hook shot, too, right there.
That's the thing. Washington's got to figure out a way to stop him from getting the ball at all. That was close. Taylor, through luck, draws a foul on Zion Xavier.
Just physically got into him. Like, again, you always talk about this partner as well. It's that little circle that's inside the paint there. And you always say it every time they go into there, it's always going to be a shooting foul no matter what, even if there's a layup. It is an important thing Washington also plays well with.
Just the little details. Knowing and remembering those things can really make a big difference at times. But let's see how the Huskies handle themselves on defense now that Memphis is trying to make quick work. They certainly do. Wow, Zion Xavier, what a take.
Yeah, Washington was too busy playing full court to realize there was a wide open man down inside the paint, and it really just gave up so much room, and Memphis put up two more because of it. Oh, that's a terrible mistake.
Akron Croyle thought he had some room to work with. He did not. So Memphis gets the ball right back.
You know, good physical play, but Memphis played full court, forcing a backcourt violation. Really goes to show the ball knowledge of this Memphis team got, just to make sure that, you know, mistakes like that happen for this Washington team. Keeps them in the game.
Can't do everything on your own. Sometimes you got to force your opponent into making errors. And Memphis is just slowly passing this thing around. Not much going on here. Zion Xavier just waiting for somebody to get open, but everybody's just cloaked right now. Now they run something.
Yeah, trying to design a play here almost.
Parker over, back to Xavier. Mid-range shot, way off. Rebounded by Carlos.
Man, that was a good pass too. Great pass, great setup. Just could not put the ball down.
Pretty good. Oh my, what a pass. Oh, what a block. Croyle gets it back and puts it in. Wow. Wow.
Well, I'm going to say it again. I'll say it again. Memphis, even though they got the block, Washington just there at the right place at the right time. They were too busy. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking.
Okay, if Tobias Ball is going to do that, then Memphis has got themselves a good chance. So the strip right here, Parker will come up short on the layup. Whoa.
You're wide open, nobody's around you. Miss something like that. That's bad.
Heard footsteps or something. Floats it in. Rich Elias draws the foul on Pons. For the last, like, minute and 50-something seconds, he's got to come out the game.
Well, whatever you do, you're putting Memphis in the foul trouble, especially a really important factor like Marco Pons. Because even though they have Tobias Ball down low, You still got to worry about Marco Potts. He's been really good around the perimeter so far in this game.
I'm not gonna lie, if I was Blake, seeing a dude at 7'6" pull up from 3 scares the bejesus out of me, because now all of a sudden you have to account for that.
Like Yao Migo or Laza all those years.
Oh yeah, the true gigantic stretch bigs of our time. Tobias Ball unloads. No. Oh, what a rebound right there by Gojo Wolf, the freshman.
Tobias Ball trying to flop on that shot, but hey, a good rebound though. Oh, I'm gonna reach in.
Man, Memphis picking up a lot of fouls though, and it seems like it's unnecessary, as Washington is officially in the bonus.
I think it's either A, they're getting tired, or B, Washington understands that what they need to do in this back half. Try and wear out Memphis in the first part of the game, and then here in the second part of the first half, you're just now wearing them out, and now you're forcing them fouls because of how exhausted they are from the first half.
It's a risk that Memphis plays with all that height, especially the big man. Parker in trouble. 3-ball. Oh, what a shot!
Huge three.
That's the DMJ, Dayway Malachi Johnson. Wolf with his own 3. No, rebounded by Fall. And what do you expect?
Memphis has got to steal it right here. If they want to try to close up this lead right here, this is where they need to turn over.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Parker, Xavier, over to Demetri Sinclair. And 1.
What a play! What a play!
That's special. Seemed like that play was about to break down.
I cannot believe I called that. I said they needed to turn over the ball. They want to try and close the lead. Well, guess what? They just got an N1 play. That is an incredible call by me.
All of a sudden, it felt like things just got reset. Washington with a quick 5 points, and then Memphis just hit him right back the same way. Carlos.
6 points. No, that was 5. Never mind.
Screen set by Carlos. Look at him go. Malachi Johnson draws the foul, so more free throws coming.
Really good job just trying to... And again, this is what Blake likes to see. Physical play inside. Is Parker second?
It is.
Wow, that's 2 guards for Memphis getting the foul trouble. Jeez.
Good free throw right there by Malachi Johnson. Yeah. So that's already 2 starters in foul trouble already going into the next half. That could play into Washington's hands.
Exactly, especially around the perimeter, because that's where they get most of their dividends from.
Washington also likes to pressure up the court, though they let him off there. Northweather, that's a deep 2, cash money.
Answer right back. That's what you're supposed to do. Exactly what Memphis is supposed to do, but now the shot clock's off. Memphis has to play perfect defense. They want one more chance here.
Well, they almost did. Xavier tried to save that one, but it'll stay with the Huskies. Fuentes is now going to inbound. It's enough time.
Force it.
Elias.
Oh, they're going to wait it out. Smart move.
Screen set. Goes around. Foul drawn. Free throws coming.
Another foul.
That's Xavier second.
I think my theory of them just trying to wear up Memphis is right. And now Washington is just putting the pressure every possession down here in the paint.
They're doing a solid job of it. First free throw goes for Elias. Rich Elias. A little less than 5 seconds left. There's still an opportunity for Memphis to put something up. But he falls short. Half-court shot. Boy. Boy. Whoa, that was close.
And you gave it to the right guy, too.
Gojo Wolf is capable. But with that said, Washington leads by 3 because of that half-court heave missing its mark. How about that for first half?
Yeah, really good first half. Memphis showed that they can play a really good defensive game, and of course, playing up top, especially with Tobias Fall being the main guy, just doing all the blocking he can. I think as though Washington started to wear them out, and in the back half, they started just forcing fouls and everything, and it really played out really well for Washington. But in this second half, though, Memphis needs to control their stamina. And then that's the one they needed to control in order to win this game here.
And part of the reason why they haven't been able to is because Washington is the one that has been mainly commanding the free throw line. They don't have a single foul yet as a team.
Yeah, they got to force something.
Elias, deep 2, or fadeaway 2, what a shot.
They got to start forcing, like, shooting fouls or blocking fouls, whatever. Just trying to force yourself. Use Tobias Fall mainly to try and force these fouls up close.
Corner 3 does not go for Zion Xavier. Now the Huskies on the move again. Carlos quick trigger off, and it's rebounded by Killingsway.
Good heat check from both teams, just trying to figure out to see if they have any heat heading into the second half here.
For that metric, no, but you know where there's heat in the turnover battle. Elias, big dunk!
That could have been called for a foul. There was a lot of contact.
Ball tries again, hits a second.
Oh, God. I can't help but seeing big men like that hitting threes. It's mind-boggling. Like, how in the world?
It's
You're
crazy.
A center.
It's crazy. Taylor, deep 2, cash money.
Memphis hitting another 3 would actually play this really well. They're down by 6, so a 3 would make it a 3-point game. But again, you're taking the risk of missing it.
Pons, who had to exit the game for a bit towards the end of the first half due to foul trouble. Tobias Fall trying to work his way around Croyle. He certainly does.
Biggest key difference here that Memphis needs to do, and I forgot to bring this up in the halftime report, they got to play more physical.
Free ball by Malachi Johnson, no go. But yeah, use your tools to your advantage. They're big, just about everywhere. 3-pointer, Killingsway, no. Fall is right there though.
That's what I mean. Tobias Fall can play off the glass all he wants, but if you want to try and score inside, you got to use all men possible, all your body, just force and box out Washington on defense.
Washington rushes another possession and they miss. Here's Memphis.
Yeah, Washington's going to slow down.
They're used to playing at this tempo. So I don't think it's necessarily that. They just got to pick their shots a little better. Xavier, 3-ball, bang! Memphis leads.
First time leading since the first half. Really good comeback here to start the second half for Memphis, but this is what they were doing in the first half, of course, before Washington decided to take over the ball. But now they have this lead. They got to slow down their game, build up their stamina. Don't try and waste it immediately.
Pass inside. Taylor works his way around. Beautiful moves.
That's the biggest problem with Memphis. It's just inside the paint. Physically outplayed by Washington. And you see there a double step by Washington inside. Puts them right next to the rim. And it's just an easy layup.
No, not again. Oh, that was close. That was close. He's feeling confident. Washington's got to watch themselves. Malachi Johnson. Pass inside somehow connects it to Taylor. Miss. Croyle. Whoa, what a stuff.
Good rebound off the paint. It was a one-on-one.
Jeez.
50-50 ball.
A lot has been happening here. Zion Xavier gives it to Parker. Now to Pons, who was flamethrowing early on. Draws the foul though on Carlos.
Wow.
And I don't know what Malachi Johnson's doing flopping to the floor. Buddy, nobody touched him.
Trying to draw a
Charge foul?
Charge foul, yeah.
Well, if he was trying to do that, he should have been in front of the guy, not behind him.
Yeah, I don't think you can call for a charge by being behind the guy.
I don't know what that is in that case. So I understand the ref's not doing a thing about it. Successful free throw trip, though, for Pons, and a rare sight to see with Memphis not putting pressure on Washington after some points. Oh, what a pass to Taylor! Oh, you got to hit that.
Yeah, you got to finish. That was a beautiful pass, too. Just good round. I mean, he went out of bounds and everything. He came around just to try to get it wide open. It was perfectly played, but instead just misses. And just right there, another miss.
Pons was wide open from the corner. That is a shock to see him miss that. Taylor, another chance at a 2. That time he gets it.
Apparently both teams can't hit when they're wide open.
It's funny. Sometimes players shoot at their best when somebody is guarding them a bit. But that time Fall can't get it. Here's Carlos.
Pressure. I mean, these guys are built to be playing around pressure. That would make a lot of sense.
Look at Malachi Johnson working on Pons.
Just physically winning inside the paint. Pons has got to step up. Memphis has got to step up. Stuff like that is just what you have to control.
Corner 3, Xavier, no. Fall with the board. And again, what do?
Got to box them out. You got to physically box them out. I understand the man is literally a entire tower, but you got to box him out.
Look at this passing over Malachi Johnson. Elias. Screen set. What a pass into Carlos.
And they got caught up. They got caught up trying to see where the ball is and forgot about him.
Incredible teamwork right there. Pons, 2-ball, got it. Here we go again with that pressure. So far, Jaquan Carlos has handled it very well. Complete 180 compared to Kentucky, but there. Miscue. Giving the ball right back. Fall draws a foul on Elias.
Well, they're doing something right from what I saw halftime. Starting to play a little more physical, forcing fouls on the Washington, and of course, big play here to try to close up this lead.
20-point game for the big man. 3 blocks of his own accord. And gets the first free throw to fall. No pun intended. We knew this guy would be a major player in this one. Has definitely lived up to it. He's got 22 points to his name. Washington has got to cook up a response. What will they do here? Jaquan Carlos, maybe the chef of this experiment, almost tipped away. Elias misses the 2-ball, and it's rebounded by C.J. Parker.
The box out there by Memphis is trying to keep up with the momentum here, trying to keep on going, trying to take the lead, but ooh, big miss.
Akron Coyle recovers the miss by Eric Northweather, the graduate transfer from Creighton. Now there's Malachi Johnson. Taylor. Feed in. What a pass to Elias. How did they get that one through? Tipped away. They wanted fall. Malachi Johnson, free lane. Got it.
Forcing passes like that are just killers in drives like this. You're just giving Washington 3 points.
Northweather comes up short and is rejected.
Oh dear. Washington's defense is starting to step up. Exactly why Memphis struggled in the first half.
Deep bomb. Got it. Dayway. Malachi Johnson. Stamping his initials on that top of the key shot. Xavier bounce pass in. Pons, 2-ball. Got it. And Carlos over to Elias. They're going to try and trap him right here. He handles it well. Washington, rarely caught up in bad situations like those. Carlos somehow draws the foul on Xavier. Free throws coming.
There was three Memphis players right there, and he just picked the right guy to go to draw the foul to. But now that guy's on 3, isn't he?
Zion Xavier is indeed on 3. Look, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Jaquan Carlos, for being 6 foot, he was tasked to find a way to play bigger than his physical stature. He has been able to do that, and I'm impressed. What a gutsy decision by Kendrick Blake to go with that kind of strategy. Rip him again. Fuentes misses, but somehow puts it in.
And again, it's probably just down to Blake's decision making. He understands as a coach that his players, if they want to be dominant against the bigger man, they got to be forceful in every play, and he's done that so well with them.
Fuentes thought about driving in. Kick out. Dayway Johnson.
Wide open.
Memphis's defense collapsed. Left the man wide open at the top of the key, and that's the other Dayway.
That is exactly what happens when you're so focused on the ball, you forget where the players are. Confusion brings up, and you are left with 3 points just hanging for watching the catch.
Carlos working again through the contact. No.
Good screen, just set up perfectly, but Memphis, great defense to catch it.
Parker and this Tigers offense got to get to work. Pass out. Wolf. 3-ball. Bomb.
Left him wide open again. Another wide open 3.
A true freshman cashes in his check. And here's Elias trying to work around. And again, this Huskies team has been able to find a way to work around this pressure defense. Elias, hook, floater, does not go.
A little bit more physical. I feel like if Elias took a little bit more steps there with the ball, I feel like he would have been easily would have drawn a foul, but instead he tried to put it up early.
Killingsway, corner 3, bang.
Much needed 3.
Back-to-back deep bombs by the Tigers here. In quick succession too, Elias bouncing off a defender. 2-ball, very rushed right there by Elias.
Washington's got to slow down. They're starting to rush their shots here, and it is just miss after miss after miss. I understand they love to play up-tempo, but this is a little bit too much tempo.
Here's Roblox, the freshman. They got both their freshmen on the court. Wolf, Killingsway, Northweather sizes up. Elias misses though. Carlos on the boards. Here's Dayway Johnson, actually filling in for his brother at his position. Oh, corner 3, Fuentes, way off. Whoa, what a block! But Roblox can't keep it in.
I still want to say it again. A holy air ball.
Yeah. It's been a fun game so far, hasn't it?
It really has. Both teams have showed exactly what they're going to do and what their play style is going to be. But now look at this important factor of the game. Washington putting in their bench. Memphis either needs to take control of it like this, or Washington needs to step up.
Wolf tries to get it through Dayway Malachi Johnson, but nothing called there. Taylor is going to instead just wait for his gang to catch up. It was a little freshman error to just dive straight in. I understand the urgency, though. Oh, look at this passing. Haywood, Dayway Johnson. I'm trying to see. I think the brothers are on the court at the same time right now. You got one with the ball, the other is down in the paint, and he gets stripped.
Jeez. It's a good play, too. Just rushed it.
Gojo Wolf tosses it into the big man. Let him cook.
Like I said, this is an important factor here. Washington's got to put some points on the board. They're scoreless through 3 minutes, and with their bench, they got to step up and do something.
Well, there's a starter on the floor, Croyle, working his way in. And how about that? He is, what is that? That is, he's 7 inches shorter than his opposition, yet is working him like there's no height difference.
Yeah, again, height difference can make a big difference, but physically outplaying him is going to be the factor. Oh my God, he almost tripped him.
Hey, I think he just fell right there. Taylor fights through the contact, nothing there, rebounded by Northweather.
If he can out physically play a man that's taller than you, you deserve to be getting those points on the board. But Memphis, they got to start doing that.
Big bomb, Gojo Wolf.
That's a much-needed 3 there. Cuts the lead down to 4. They just need 2 possession worth of ball. Got to force turnovers here.
Well, good ball movement so far by the Huskies. Dayway Johnson, standing at 6'9", tall guard, works in 2-ball. What a take!
Again, Memphis' downfall. I've been saying it all game long. They allow points because Washington is just physically pushing them towards the paint.
Another 3 by Gojo Wolf.
Good Lord!
The freshman off the bench is going nuts.
Oh, full court defense. I got to be careful here.
They avoid it. 2-ball. Taylor misses.
He was wide open too, man. Set yourself before you shoot.
Xavier draws a foul. Free throws coming, and that's on Dayway Johnson. We are under 3 minutes now, and these free throws is going to bring this game even closer. Down to a 2-point difference.
Boy, what a game so far.
1-point difference now. We had a feeling this one would deliver. Let's see how it finishes.
Memphis has got to force something here. Just force him outside the paint. Physically block him from going inside.
Nothing there for Malachi Johnson. Rush shot there by the Huskies. Zion Xavier. Over to Pons. Pons left wide open. Missed a shot.
Oh, you got to hit him. You got to hit him. That was your moment.
Washington, it's in their best interest to just slow it down. Elias. Pass in. Hook shot goes over to Tobias Wall. Are you kidding me?
That should have been called a foul. Tobias completely landed on him.
Parker. They're trying to get some off-ball action going. Xavier at the logo. Tosses it in. Almost turned over. Dangerous pass. Parker trying to work his way in. Dumps it off for Xavier, and he's got nobody around him.
Look at this. Washington stalling time.
Carlos. And this Huskies team cannot crack now. And they do.
Memphis just pushed them out. Perfectly played.
Fall. Quick trigger. Got it. Memphis leads.
Oh my goodness.
Elias. Over to Taylor. Malachi Johnson. 3-ball. Bang!
Talk about the clutch player for the Huskies.
We are nearing 1 minute left in this game. Very little separation here. Xavier gets it in. We're tied.
Oh my God, we're tied.
Carlos trying to find his way through, and he does.
That's a huge breakaway.
But a rush shot. Rushed shot by Malachi Johnson. Parker loads up a 3. Bang!
Statement!
More pressure here. Washington gets across. They do. Taylor, bounce pass. Elias, good take, but they're still down 1.
Yeah, they're going to have to force fouls.
Not if Memphis rushes it.
Oh, you know, Akbar's probably telling them, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Killinsway takes the shot. Got it.
Oh my goodness.
Man. 23 seconds left in the game. Washington down 3. This has been incredible. This battle has been nuts. But what does Washington have to do?
Well, I feel like the biggest thing they need to do is go back to the success they had in the first half, especially towards the end, the last like 3 minutes of it, where they were just so physically played. They're outplaying Memphis. They force fouls onto them. That's what they need to do. Play a man like Rich Elias, pass it to the inside, let him drive in and force a foul, and possibly get an and one. That's the only way I can think of here. You can go to Dayway, but of course, you don't know. It's not a guaranteed.
I couldn't get it to fall. Croyle will get free throws, but they needed that one to go down. It was a quick play. It only took 3 seconds off the clock.
Big thing here too is that if he makes the first one, misses the second one, you still have an opportunity to rebound.
But he misses the first one.
The worst thing you could do.
Gotta hit this next one no matter what. He shanks both.
No, man. That's the worst thing you could have done.
Now Washington's just got to find a way to get Memphis to the line as quick as possible. How many more? Hopefully this is the last one. 16 seconds left. And you're sending CJ Parker to the line. That's no bueno. Because he's cool as ice.
Oh my goodness.
Memphis in pole position here.
Oh my goodness.
To win this one. They have 15.5 seconds left to defend with their lives to guarantee themselves around a 32 spot. This Washington team made the Elite Eight last year. Time is almost up on them. This is the last gasp right here for the Huskies. They're jogging down the court. They got to set up a three. Set up a look. A lot of time is ticking down. They got to put something up. Taylor, just heave it. He does. No. Rebound. Elias draws a foul, but there's just not enough time left. Way too much time went off the clock.
I don't think I've ever seen Rich Elias get bodied that badly.
Would have been nice if he was at the free throw line instead of Croyle.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a worse shot at the free throw line than what Croyle did.
One free throw seals this game. Ball game. Onions. One more to just seal the deal. CJ Parker did his job. In Washington, this timeout's not going to do anything. It's over. Memphis, under the new leadership of Coach Akbar, are around a 32 bound. What ultimately led to Washington's downfall, do you think, partner?
It just, I mean, they went away from what made them so successful in the first half, where they just out physically played Memphis, and instead they tried to go soft and to try to play like a normal game of basketball, but instead it led to their downfall because they just could not keep up. And then, of course, in the later half of the second half, they just kept missing shots that were so important. They kept rushing their shots, and it just led to more misses and misses. Yes, they had breakaways and everything. They just couldn't put the points up.
It's just unfortunate. Extremely unfortunate. One last hurrah by Washington here. As Echbektsari is just going to chuck one up. And it's over. Memphis is advancing in the great dance.
Wow.
What a way to open the night. Those two absolutely deserving of those honors. Blake and Akbar meet. All you can say is, what a game. There you go. Now it's them and Xavier in the round of 32 in this part of the bracket. Any final thoughts on what we have seen?
Well, all I can say is that Memphis' run continues. And whoever they play next round, who was it, Xavier?
No, it'll be either UAB or North Carolina.
Oh boy. Well, North Carolina better be ready. Because you know that battle in the inside at the center is going to be absolutely crazy if North Carolina makes it.
But if somehow UAB makes it through, pulls off an incredible upset, then they're going to have to deal with all that. But it is to be determined. With that said, folks, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break because, well, I gotta leave the commentary desk for a few hours. But when we return, this will either be the last game of the night, or we just keep it going. We'll see. We have 10 seed Oklahoma versus 7 seed Maryland. We're going up to the Bradley Center, and we'll see you there as the winner of this game will take on 15 seed Bucknell. Unbelievable. This is March. This is madness. And we'll be back for more a little later tonight.